last night, 6,000 people for a draft party. What did you think of that first off? Let's start there.
Last night was so exciting for us because it was what we've been building for the last 3 years.
The Indiana Fever started their season 1-8. How did they end up in the playoffs? The answer might shock you, and it's not just about Caitlin Clark's insane skills. You know what's crazier? There's a whole lot of drama behind the scenes that nobody's talking about. Imagine this. The Fever go from total underdogs to playoff contenders. How? Well, that's where things get juicy. We're not just talking about game stats here. We're talking locker room secrets, team conflicts, and some wild revelations from Allison Barber, the ex-president of the Fever. You won't believe what went down this season. It's like a basketball soap opera, and we've got the inside scoop. Ready to hear how the Fever really turned things around?
People think that last night was the moment, and it was a moment. But it was part of a strategic plan of building this fan base and all of the things that we needed to be ready for last night.
Let's dive into the unbelievable story behind their shocking comeback. Trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Now, picture this. A rookie steps onto the court and suddenly, the whole team dynamic shifts. Clark's game was hot, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. What happened when her unique style clashed with the team's expectations? Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA was like a fireworks show. Her passing skills? Off the charts. But here's the kicker. Those same skills that made her a superstar almost caused a meltdown in the Fever locker room. Can you believe it? At first, the Fever organization was scratching their heads. They saw Clark dishing out assists left and right. They weren't sure if this was the right move.
To see that come together was really exciting.
Did it exceed your expectations? What were your expectations?
Well, Caitlin exceeded our expectations. So when we got the first pick in the lottery,
it's like they were thinking, yeah, she's good. But is this really going to win us games? But hold up, because this is where it gets good. Allison Barber, the ex-president of the Fever, spilled some tea about what was really going down. She said Clark was building team camaraderie of passing the ball. That's right. While everyone else was worried, Clark was quietly creating a dream team. You know what's wild? The team actually had to learn how to play with Clark. It's like they had to rewire their basketball brains. At first, they were all, what is she doing? But then, bam, they figured it out, and suddenly they're playing like a well-oiled machine. Clark wasn't just passing the ball. She was passing out leadership lessons.
We felt excited and great because you can build a good, franchise with 2 first picks. But we didn't know if Caitlin was going to go into the draft. And so when she made that announcement, all of our expectations, we couldn't have planned for the wonderful momentum.
When things got tough, she stepped up. She was talking to her teammates, helping them find their rhythm. It's like she had this secret playbook for turning conflicts into teamwork. And get this, as the season went on, something magical happened. The team that started off looking like a hot mess, they transformed. We're talking about a complete 180. The Fever went from being the team everyone wanted to play to the team everyone feared. Remember how they started 1-8? Well, guess where they ended up? In the playoffs, baby. And it wasn't just luck. It was Clark's unique style that lit the fire under this team. She didn't just change how they played, she changed how they worked together. You think Clark's on-court skills were impressive? Wait till you hear about the off-court drama she had to navigate. The Fever's locker room was like a pressure cooker, ready to explode at any moment. And it almost did. Let's talk about head coach Christy Sides. She wasn't just calling plays, she was playing peacekeeper in a locker room full of tension. It's like she was juggling basketballs and hand grenades at the same time. Can you imagine trying to coach a team when half of them are ready to throw down? But here's where it gets really juicy. Remember Nia Smith? Well, there were some serious allegations flying around about her. People were saying she had too much influence in the locker room, and it wasn't just about basketball. There were whispers about her relationship with DJ Khan and how it might be affecting her playing time. Talk about drama. Now, picture Clark walking into this mess. She's a rookie, right? But get this, instead of keeping her head down, she decides to step up. Clark starts advocating for spot bonuses for away team players. That's right, she's not just passing the ball on the court, she's passing out leadership moves off it too. You know what's wild? While everyone else was caught up in the drama, Clark was busy trying to build a team. It's like she looked at all this chaos and thought, challenge accepted. She wasn't just playing basketball, she was playing 4D chess with team dynamics. And here's the kicker. All this behind-the-scenes action, it was happening while the Fever were making their incredible comeback. Imagine trying to focus on winning games when your locker room feels like it's about to implode. It's like trying to drive a car while the passengers are having a boxing match in the backseat. But you know what? This is where Clark really showed her star power. She didn't just score points. She scored points with her teammates. While everyone else was caught up in the drama, she was focused on making the team better. It's like she had this secret playbook for turning conflicts into teamwork. Allison Barber, the ex-president of the Fever, spilled some tea about all this. She said, "When I got this job, I wrote a strategy. Commit, compete, and contribute will give us a championship culture." Sounds great on paper, right? But it takes someone special to make it happen in real life. And that someone was Clark. Clark's impact wasn't just about changing the game on the court. What if I told you she's completely flipping the script on how female athletes do business? We're talking game-changing moves that are making waves far beyond the basketball arena. You see, Clark's not just sinking baskets. She's scoring major points in the business world, too. This rookie's got some serious savvy when it comes to NIL deals and contract negotiations. She's not just playing the game, she's rewriting the rulebook for female athletes everywhere. Think about it. Clark's approach to these deals is like nothing we've seen before. She's not just accepting what's offered, she's demanding what she deserves. And guess what? It's working. She's empowering other female athletes to step up and negotiate better contracts, protect their image, and get their fair share. But here's where it gets really wild. Clark's influence is so massive, it's being compared to legends like Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. Yeah, you heard that right. Allison Barber, the ex-president of the Fever, dropped this bombshell. Clark's bringing new fans to the sport just like MJ and Tiger did in their prime. And the proof? It's in the numbers, baby. The Fever went from pulling in 3,000 to 4,000 fans to a whopping 17,000. We're talking standing room only. It's like Clark waved a magic wand and suddenly everyone wants to watch women's basketball. But it's not just about butts and seats. Clark's presence is like a magnet for sponsors. Companies that used to need convincing are now lining up to partner with the Fever. It's like Clark turned on a money faucet and sponsors are rushing to get a drink. Now, get this. Barber's saying something that's gonna blow your mind. She's talking about how these female athletes coming out of college aren't just players anymore. They're businesswomen. And Clark? She's leading the charge. Barber said, "They deserve NIL deals. They're coming out now of college as businesswomen." It's like Clark's not just changing the game, she's changing the whole darn industry. You know what's crazy? This isn't just about Clark or the Fever. This is about reshaping the entire economic landscape of the WNBA. We're talking increased sponsorship interest, more revenue, and a whole new ballgame when it comes to how female athletes are valued. So, the Indiana Fever's journey this season? It's been wild. They went from total underdogs to playoff contenders, and Caitlin Clark was right at the center of it all. She didn't just change how they played, she changed the whole game. Clark's not just a rookie. She's a game changer. She's rewriting the rules for female athletes, both on and off the court. We're talking big money deals, packed arenas, and sponsors lining up. It's like she flipped a switch and suddenly everyone's paying attention to women's basketball. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about the Fever or Clark. It's about the future of women's basketball. The WNBA is changing, and it's changing fast. More fans, more money, more respect. It's like we're watching the birth of a new era in sports. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.